And I'd like to welcome you all to our Tuesday 1:30 p.m. session with Iona once again, where Samantha will be talking about family caregiver resources with us today. And thank you so much for attending. I'm going to read our disclaimer before we get started. The WildTech DC Senior Digital Equity Program, its owners and presenters offer technical assistance, virtual health, well-being information designed for educational purposes only. You should not rely on the information, any apps or topics made by WildTech, including but not limited to mobile device applications and any social media pages maintained by WildTech, its owners, or presenters as a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, treatment, or legal advice. Thank you so much for letting me read the disclaimer. If you cannot see us, hear us, or see the screen, please let us know in the chat. As always, make sure you keep your TVs and cell phones in mind. And please make sure you take notes and or screenshots so you could review the information for later. But this session will be on our YouTube, so hello YouTube, and you can rewind and review as much as you'd like. Samantha, if you could introduce yourself and your topic for today. Thank you so much. The floor is yours. I look forward to assisting with the hands and make sure you all stand for our poll at the end. Samantha, take it away.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you again all for having me here. Great to see you all and some familiar faces. I'm just getting my slideshow up here. So today I'm going to be talking about family resources or resources for family caregivers. So when I'm talking about family caregivers, I'm talking about anyone who cares for someone who's over 60 generally is what these resources are for. And family, I think it can be broadly, it could be friends, neighbors, family friends, but someone who typically isn't getting paid for the service. They're taking care of someone who they know and care about. And my name is Samantha Henson. I manage IONA's information and referral helpline. So we get all types of questions about things that come up for people as they age or caregivers. And I also do community outreach for IONA. So sharing with people who are over 60 or professionals about what IONA offers. So I'll go briefly over what IONA does again, and then of course we'll jump into the topic. But I always like to start and hear from you all what you know or want to know about IONA and resources or resources for caregivers, because it's helpful for me to hear what you know or want to know, and sometimes you know something that's helpful for someone else to know. So would anyone like to share?
Yes, I think we'll go with the hands first. So I know we have had Samantha on a couple of sessions, so you could share what you learned from there and or resources for caregivers. Anyone would like to share? You can raise your hand. And thank you so much, you all, for coming on. We have about 30 folks on the call today, so thank you. Any takers?
And if not, feel free again to jump in at any point with questions that come up, and I can always keep it kind of general and just share everything that I have here.
Mhm. You can unmute yourself now too, if you'd like. What do you know about Iona, or what would you like to know? You know, Samantha will be on with us monthly. We have some sessions, but we'd love to know what you guys are interested in.
Yeah, or if there's any particular resources for caregivers that you're interested in. And again, you could use this just as some food for thought as we go through. But again, my objectives for today, I'm going to share a little bit briefly about IONA services and programs, and then we're going to dive into the services and programs for family caregivers, both within IONA and outside of IONA. So we're going to talk about some logistical support caregivers can get, mental health support, caregiver respite. So opportunities for breaks in caregiving, programming for caregivers of someone with memory loss, and a medical equipment loan closet we have here at IONA. And some of these might be repeats from other sessions, but I'm hoping to kind of present them in the framework of caregivers and supporting those who care for others. So a quick overview about IONA. Our mission is to support people as they experience the challenges and opportunities of aging. We educate, advocate, and provide community-based services to help people age well and live well. So this year is IONA's 50th anniversary, as you can see in our logo over here. We became the lead agency in Ward 3 through the Department of Aging in the 80s. So each ward in DC has kind of like a point agency for services for people who are over 60 or caregivers of people over 60. So we became the lead agency in Ward 3 in the 80s. We opened 2-day programs, which I'll talk a little bit about later. And then more recently, we also became the lead agency in wards 2 and 4. So that means we get some funding from the Department of Aging to support these wards specifically, but we also have other funding sources too. So most of our programs are for anyone who lives in DC and is over 60. And I mentioned that I manage IONA's information referral helpline. So on the helpline, we talk about IONA services, but also sometimes people just have a topic that they want to call about. Sometimes they're concerned about housing or getting care at home, or there's some memory loss for themselves or someone else that they wanted to talk through. So really there's no topics off limits. Anyone can call. People who are over 60 can call, family caregivers, professionals, and community members, so friends or neighbors. And it's staffed by licensed social workers. I cover it a little over 50% of the time, and there's another social worker who also covers the helpline. People can call from anywhere, and we're monitoring it during regular business hours, so Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 by phone or email. Um, but you could always call or email outside of those business hours. We'll just get back to you in that time. And sometimes people do get the voicemail a lot of the time, but we do get back pretty quickly. And then just a quick overview of what we offer at IONA. I mentioned we have 2-day programs. So those are for people who have memory loss or some physical needs. And we have one location in Tenleytown in Northwest and another location in Southeast in Congress Heights. And they're both social and medical models. So we do have nurses available if participants need any hands-on assistance, but it really is a great social program and opportunity. We also have care management. So we have a subsidized care management for people with memory loss, some light social work support for those 3 wards that I mentioned we're the lead agency in, and we have private pay care management. So that's either a social worker or nurse care manager who can help with coordinating care, setting plans for the future, putting resources in place. So someone who could really stick with you and help, like I said, put things in place and with coordination. We also have nutritionists and dietitians on staff who offer nutrition counseling. And that, again, is just in wards 2, 3, and 4. That's one of those services. We also have community dining sites that are in wards 2, 3, and 4, but they're open to anyone. We have mental health services. This is citywide. And they do accept insurance for therapy. We have a variety of support groups I'll go into a little bit more later. Finding community and lifelong learning. We have a lot of social programs and wellness programs, just like you've been participating in with Wild Tech. So we have one program called Around Town DC, which can be found on aroundtowndc.org, where you can see everything social fitness, art-based that we have going on in the community or virtually. A lot of it is online as well. And I mentioned we have multiple community dining sites that also have programming before and after lunch. And for memory support, a lot of our programs interact with memory loss. Our day programs certainly help people with memory loss. We have social workers, like I mentioned, that support people with memory loss. And a lot of our support groups are for people who are caring for someone with memory loss. And I talked a little bit about eligibility for IONA's programs, but just to quickly review, most of our programs are for people who are over 60 or caregivers. Most of our programs are for anyone who's a DC resident. Some of them go into Maryland's a little bit. And then only two of our programs are only for wards 2, 3, and 4. Sorry, I should have added 4 in here. Residents, and that's information assistance and education, which is like light social work support. If you had a question about a letter you got in the mail regarding a benefit, or you want to sign up for a benefit. So kind of like one-time support and questions. And then our nutrition counseling is restricted to those wards as well. And most of our programs are no cost to the consumer. Um, the and a lot of them have sliding scale options. So the day programs have a sliding scale option. The care management, there's a private pay and a subsidized version. Yeah. Let's see.
Oh,
And then mhm,
Samantha? Oh,
yes.
yes, I love this guide. But someone shared, I think you just mentioned it, but I think it's just really, really important. The helpline, and it said no restrictions. Can you speak on that? And then someone shared, is there any support in Ward 5? So can you again go over like how open or how some programs or most programs are at Iona? And I guess it just doesn't hurt to call to see what you are available for or eligible for.
Yes. Yeah, so I'll start with the question about the helpline. Um, so anyone can call the helpline. Again, our specialty is just um, different topics, subjects, resources, information that affects older adults and caregivers. So really anything that falls within that, there's no restrictions for that. You could call no matter what your relationship is to the person needing help. It could be yourself or someone else. And people can call from all over. So of course, our knowledge base is a little bigger in the DC area and then going into Maryland's a little bit. But sometimes we'll have people out of state call and say, I know you're in DC, but do you know what might be in um, whatever other state that's kind of similar to Iona, or where we could get food or whatever the case is. Or we also have adult children call from out of state. So anyone can call. There's even though, again, our knowledge base gets a little bit smaller as it gets outside of DC, there are some things that are universal. Does that answer the question about the helpline? Just shout out if you have any other questions about that.
Oh no, no, you explained that perfectly. I just the kind of think of it as Dackle's hotline. I mean, you can call them for
It's very
anything.
similar. Yep.
Yeah, it's very similar. So everyone on the call, if you need any assistance, it's another option available to you, you know?
Mhm.
It's always good to have options.
Yeah, and I think the other question was about resources in Ward 5. And a lot of our programs, like I said, are citywide. Our Dementia Navigators case management goes anywhere in the city. We have our virtual programming through around town DC. A lot of the mental health is virtual, support groups are virtual. Um, and then a lot of the programs that are in person, even though they're not in Ward 5, you could still travel to them if you wanted to. But for Ward 5 specifically, the lead agency on aging in Ward 5 is Seabury. So they offer some similar services to Iona. It's Seabury. Um, so they have some similar programs and then some different programs to Iona too. So if you're in Ward 5, I would definitely check them out. And then the
They're great.
other,
They're great. A lot of the different lead agencies have their special services to
yeah,
each of
yeah, we
them.
all have some overlap and then some unique things. And then East River Family Strengthening Collaborative is another one of the lead agencies in Wards 7 and 8. Um, so Seabury is Wards 5 and 6. East River is 7 and 8, and I think they work with the Department of Aging for Ward 1. It's my understanding. So every ward has some support, and again, no matter where you are in DC, you can always feel free to call us too, because we do have a good knowledge base about resources outside of our main wards as well.
Oh, thank you, Samantha. I think you'll go into it. I think you have it in one of your slides. Do you have the list of the different wards and the lead agencies? Someone has
I,
to.
yeah, I don't on this slideshow, but
Can you explain it
um,
like in 1 minute or less? Can you explain the whole, like when you say lead agency, what it means?
yeah, so the
May
lead
I know?
agencies are, I think they're all nonprofits in DC, and they each support one of the ward, at least one of the wards in DC. So DC has our 8 wards. And what makes us a lead agency is we have some grant funding from the Department of Aging that can cover certain programs. So for example, they covered those programs that I mentioned at IONA are only for our wards, which are the light social work support, the nutrition, counseling. They cover a lot of our programs, but I'm not sure they're all through a lead agency grant, like around town DC. Our social programs, our dining sites. Those all get some funding from the Department of Aging. And we get a couple grants from them. So I'm not sure if it's specifically lead agency grant, but some of them are just for those boards because that's what our grant funding is for. And each agency applies for these grants and have different ideas of how they might want to use the money. So that's part of the why there's some overlap. I think all the lead agencies offer nutrition counseling. They all have that light social work support, but then beyond that, there might be some differences.
I found a list online. I hope it's 100% accurate, but I think it is. But I put all of that information in the chat. So, I mean, for any agency, they have the ward specific services and they have the city round services.
Mm-hmm.
So it's good to be aware of ones that are maybe more in your area or even not in the ward and see what they offer. Because again, every place is different. So.
Yeah, and a lot of them, I know Iona at least, we get funding from other areas too, which is why some of our programs can go anywhere in DC or beyond DC too. And then
Thank
on
you.
this,
So, yeah,
no
thank you so
problem.
much.
And on this slide, I just have a picture of our resource guide. We are either very low or out of the English versions in hard copy, but we do have PDF version of it, and we have Spanish versions. And I know we're working on an updated resource guide too. So the resource guide has resources, a ton of resources for people over 60 and caregivers. But again, you can also call our helpline to get similar information. I see there's a hand up too.
Great, thank you. I just shared that PDF to the resource guide.
Thank you.
Uh-huh, I got you. Thank you so much for the wonderful information. We got Miss Celeste for a question about anything we covered so far.
Okay, I have a question. Those books are very helpful. Where would I be able to get one? I know I had one, but I gave one to my mother-in-law. But where could I get a copy of the hard copy of the book,
Yeah,
the
so
resource guide?
unfortunately, we're like very low or like out of the English version. We are going to be
Hmm.
reprinting soon. We're hoping in the fall.
Hmm.
But when we first got the books, we gave them out to all of the senior centers in DC, the senior wellness centers. We gave them out to the libraries. The Department of Aging had a stock. So you could see if your local senior wellness center has them, but
Hmm.
I think they're pretty hard to find right now in hard copy, unfortunately.
Okay, what senior citizen guide center or the senior citizens in Ward 6? Could you put that in the chat or send me that information? Because
Yeah,
I
so
live in.
Ward,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, Ward 6, I think it would be the Hayes Senior Wellness Center in Ward 6.
Mm-hmm.
And Seaberg is the lead agency in Ward 6.
Ward 6. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Good questions. Okay, so now we're going to pivot a little bit away from information about Iona specifically and more into resources for family caregivers. So again, either a spouse, a sibling, sometimes cousins, nieces, nephews, friends, neighbors. For the term caregiver, we say if you worry about someone, you're a caregiver. So that's the types of resources we're thinking about that can support people who are caring for someone else, whether maybe they have a chronic diagnosis or memory loss, or they're just having a little bit of a harder time getting around. So for some logistical support for caregivers, I mentioned IONA's information assistance and education program. That's that light social work support that all of the lead agencies offer. Um, so that could be kind of like a consultation or a question about a specific issue going on. I should have also put our helpline here as another place that you could call. Dementia Navigators, I mentioned, I'm not sure if I mentioned it by name, but that's our ongoing case management for people who have memory loss and are DC residents. And there's no cost for that. And especially as dementia progresses, a lot of their work is very closely linked with supporting the caregivers. And then IONA Care Management, we actually updated the name recently. Now it's called Aging and Caregiving Support. That is our private pay care management program. So it's kind of similar to Dementia Navigators, but it's not restricted to people with memory loss. And again, it's ongoing care management, or it could be a one-time consultation with a social work or nurse care manager to help with planning for the future, knowing what resources are available, putting those resources in place so they can do a variety to offer some assistance. I also wanted to share a little bit more about mental health support. And again, here I'm listing information from IONA, but there's certainly resources like this outside of IONA as well. So there are therapy options in DC because it can be very challenging being a caregiver and complicated emotionally as well, changing relationships from maybe what they had been in the past. So IONA, we offer mental health therapy. We accept Blue Cross Blue Shield and Medicare. And like I said, we can also make referrals if our wait list is full or something like that. Or if we have a wait list, or if you're looking for something different, we can always make referrals for therapy too. And then at IONA, we have a variety of support groups. A lot of our support groups are for caregivers. So we have an adult child caregiver support group. We have adult children caring specifically for parents with memory loss. Our lunchtime support group for family caregivers is a little bit more general. So caregivers, and it varies what their relationship might be or what specific caregiving tasks they might be doing. We have a support group for caregivers of spouses with dementia. We have support group for people caring for their spouse a little bit more generally. Maybe it's not dementia. We have a support group for caregivers of individuals with dementia. So not necessarily spouses or adult children, caregivers a little bit more broadly. And then this group, I think, is like a similar group to the last one, just a different day. And then again, if there's support groups that are needed beyond this, or for whatever reason, if these aren't a good fit, we can always refer to different ones. And these are all meeting virtually right now. Caregiver respite is also something that's very important to make sure that caregivers have a break because it can be very much a full-time job. So things we're thinking about with caregiver respite, one of them is home care, and there's a variety of options for home care, both subsidized and for fee. We don't offer home care through IONA, but we can kind of help point people in the right direction, depending on what their needs are to get that home care. There's nonprofits that can offer no-cost home care. Medicaid can offer no-cost home care. There's a program called the EPD waiver that's also subsidized. And then we also have a list of private pay companies we can share. Or sometimes people use websites like care.com to find an individual. I mentioned briefly our adult day health programs, which are great for the participants and also great for the caregivers, because it's somewhere where the participants can go during the day. They can have some socialization, some interaction, some exercise, food. But then also while they're at the day program, their caregiver gets a little bit of a break too. And like I said, that program is sliding scale. Um, but a lot of the time, even if you are paying full fee for it, it's kind of comparable or a little bit less expensive than home care usually is. Um, and then residential care is another option. So a lot of assisted livings offer like trials, or a lot of the time I think you have to pay for that. You could go for a month, but you'd have to pay for that month. There is a program that I don't think I have in here for some reason. I don't think it's in a slideshow, but it's called the DC Caregiver Institute. And I've spoken about them before. They offer subsidized home care, and they also have a program called it's through Home Care Partners, called the DC Caregiver Institute. And through the DC Caregiver Institute, the caregiver is technically the client. So all the services are to support the caregiver, which then will support the person they're caring for if they have some support themselves. So they offer some funds, some respite funds to pay for things like home care. And they also have a partnership with an assisted living. I think it's Livingston Place, if I'm not mistaken, where the person they're caring for can have a week-long stay. If maybe they needed to go out of town, they can know that the person they're caring for is still well cared for. And they offer some support groups and trainings. So that's another great resource. Okay, we're just flying through. Club Memory is another program I like to talk about. This program, again, is for both the person who needs, the care recipient, and the caregiver. And this one is focused on memory loss. So it's kind of like a social program. It's not a day program, but it's somewhere that the person with memory loss and their care partner can go for, I think it's like an hour to a week for some socialization. They have like board games, puzzles, sing-alongs, trivia. And they also have a support group aspect too. So they'll break into two separate groups where the people who are receiving care and have memory loss can join a support group, and the family caregivers can join a support group, which is really nice because I think that sometimes the caregivers have a hard time getting away to go to these support groups. So it's nice that, you know, they know that the person they're caring for has the support they need. And this is the contact information if you were interested in Club Memory. And then I think this actually might be my last slide of content. This is information about the medical equipment loan closet through IONA. So we have equipment that people have donated to IONA and is available at no cost, but it does need to be picked up. So the things that get donated to us are wheelchairs, transport chairs. So wheelchairs, they're the ones with the big wheels in the back and the small ones in the front. The transport chairs have those 4 small wheels and are more lightweight and more for like shorter distances. Rollators, with or without seats, tub seats, transfer benches to get in and out of the bath, new or unused commodes, handheld grabbers, canes. We also have knee scooters. And another big thing that we have that we get calls about a lot are our incontinence products. So we have pull-ups, adult diapers, chucks, wipes, gloves. So again, just call IONA, and usually it's in a different part of the building than the front desk who answers those calls. So we send someone downstairs to check it out at 3 o'clock and see what we have. if anyone asks, like say you call and want a wheelchair, we'll say, okay, we'll call you back after 3 and let you know what we have. And if we have it, you can pick it up at no cost. And yeah, I flew through that material, but we have plenty of time if anyone has any questions or wants to share any takeaways or anything that surprised them, or if you know of any resources I didn't mention that you want to share with the group, um, or have any questions about other resources, please let me know.
Thank you, Samantha. I mean, while we answer questions, do you mind just not running through your session, but just going through the different slides once again, just to, overview the info in case something catch someone's
Sure.
eye? Thank you. It's a great session presentation.
Thank you.
So yeah, it's just I'm looking through maybe now maybe that first
For the
question
front.
will help out. Like, what are you interested in, or what do you know or want to know? Or anything that you guys would like to share, any comments, please let us know, and we love to address them for you. Um, whether it's just about Iona generally, if you have a question about the wards thing or the services, or if you have a question or comment specific to the family caregiver resources, which I love it. We actually had legal counsel last week talk about the EPD waiver in depth. So if
Okay.
you all are again interested or want to know more, check out that video or call Iona or DAP. They can really help out. You actually call DAPL to start your EPD waiver application. So, yes. Any questions or comments, please put in the chat or raise your hand. Well, this is funny, but it's great funny. Someone shared club memory would be a fun guest to invite. I joined them via Hattie Holmes on Thursdays at 10 a.m.
No, great. It
Yes.
does seem like that'd be an appropriate guest to invite.
Yes. I think we are. I think in August or September, right?
Oh, through Iona. So through Iona, um, no, so our Dementia Navigators program used to be really closely linked with Club Memory. Like we had a grant where the Dementia Navigators would go to Club Memory, um, and offer support. But now the programs are just running separately just because of how the grant funding worked out.
Okay, thank you. Again, you all please raise your hand if you have a question or a comment. You could put it in the chat, but throughout the session, I did share quite a few links. Again, the Iona's helpline number, someone shared in the chat. What is the 2022 PDF I shared? Is that the most recent copy of the resource book, or is
Um, yes, I think it's 2022 to 2024, and we should be having one. We're aiming for the fall of this year, so we would have a 2025 to 2027 version.
Thank you so much for that. I think in general, through either programs, are cleaning services available?
I know Seabury has a program called Age in Place, and it's only for it's 3 of the wards. And I think it's not only their typical wards. Let me see. It's called Age in Place.
I know the EPD waiver. I know that's a part of
Yeah.
because they help out with like daily tasks. So I would definitely check out the EPD waiver. You have to apply and be accepted to it, but that's just one option I'm thinking of.
Yeah, and Seabury, I just found their program, the volunteer cleaners is for wards 4, 5, and 6. The EPD waiver is a great resource, like you said. And I know East River Family Strengthening Collaborative at least used to have a program. Or no, I think it actually went back in-house to the Department of Aging for heavy duty house cleaning. So if someone is at risk of like an eviction or something like that due to the state of their house, there could be some resources for that too.
Oh yeah, so I guess I mean for that kind of question, call DACL, see what they say, or call Iona and see what they say,
Mhm.
and see what's available. So I hope that helps out. I see your messages. Make sure if you want to send to everyone, make sure you send it to everyone, but I make sure to take a look at that message. Um, I did see we had a hand, but it seems like you lowered your hand. I hope we answered that question for you. But any others? You can okay.
Oh,
I appreciate that. We got you, Yvonne. You have a
Oh, thank
question or
you.
comment?
Thank you, Alex. Oh, yes, thank you, Samantha. Um, Samantha, if one were to need an aid such as a grabber, would you call the main number? Because I did get a letter from IONA and they mentioned Christine Kenny as Director of Community Programs and Tania McQueen, Program Director. So would I call one of those two people?
yeah, so if you're looking for a grabber, I would call the main number because our front desk manages our loan closet. So if you call the main number, the first person who answers, what they'll probably say is, okay, I'll take down your name and number and we'll get back to you at the end of the day just
Yes.
to see what we have. But just the main number at Iona, it's the same number that
Yeah, I
Alex put
the
in the
main number.
chat.
Yes, and I see Alex put it in the chat. But yeah, would one have to go to your office there on Albemarle Street to pick it up, or would that be delivered to the?
Yes, they would need to be picked up, but we do also have that location in Congress Heights. So sometimes I know it can be hard to
Well, I'm
travel.
closer to the Albemarle
Okay, yeah.
location. Would I go there and to pick it?
Yeah, so it'd be either the Albemarle or like sometimes, like I said, if people live closer to the other location, we could have staff bring it there, but we don't
Mhm.
deliver it to people's
Yes.
houses.
And I also do Club Memory from Hattie. Well, they do it in every ward,
Mm-hmm.
but from Hattie Homes, it's on Thursdays at 10. And then I think the third Thursday of the month, they do it in person. So they do it not only online, but in person in each of the wards and at the wellness centers. Club Memory does that, and as well as a physical handout. In fact, I got my handout for the next session. I guess that's July. It comes in the mail to you. It's mailed to you with wonderful games and trivia questions. And today it talks about melanoma or skin cancer. So it gives great information. Julia
Yeah.
Pruitt, whom you might know, was once our contact through Club Memory.
Right. That's what Alex and I were talking about earlier, where Julia was through our Dementia Navigators program, and there was like a formal link at that point between our programs, and now it's a little bit more informal. But I appreciate you sharing about your experience with Club Memory because I think you know, from the people who are going to the programs, they can say a little bit more about what it's like from that experience, and I think it's good for other people to
Yeah,
hear
it's
that
in
too.
every ward. They do a session in every ward, one on Zoom and one in person in every ward. And
Yeah.
it's wonderful. It's a wonderful resource.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Alex.
Oh, thank you so much for sharing your experience, Yvonne. We really appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Yeah. Let us know if you have another question, okay? Also, again, put any in the chat if you'd like. Again, Iona's helpline, Dackel's helpline. I put the agent play, or Samantha did, sorry. There's a lot of action going on in the chat. Thank you for your testimony. The Iona resource PDF is in the chat. The DC Caregivers Institute link is in the chat. Um, it's a lot of great resources online. So the senior wellness centers, because there may be more than one in your ward. I put that link there. Lots to take advantage. So please make sure you check out the chat today. We got Louise next for a question or a comment. Thank you so much. Hope you're having a great day.
I just want to say that I got my resource book from Model City in Ward 5. That's 1901 Ebart Street. They also have a club memory there too on Thursdays.
Well, thank you for sharing that. And I know like Alex said, he put the different senior wellness centers in the chat. So you might want to call in advance too. And that's a good tip that they might have a resource guide at model cities. But people might want to call in advance and see if they have it before making the trip there too. I do see someone asked what DACL is in the chat, and that's the Department of Aging and Community Living. So they are kind of like the main government agency on aging in DC, and they provide funding for a lot of the programs that we're talking about today. And they also have some of their own programs in-house. So, for example, they offer the home delivered meals for people who are homebound. They offer ongoing case management for people who are over 60 in DC. And they fund a lot of, like I said, what we're talking about. So the nutrition programs, um, if people need supplements like Ensure Boost, and like IONA, they also have an information referral helpline.
Oh, thank you, Samantha. There's a lot of acronyms here in DC for a lot of things. So, that's, one of our grantors, and we've had them on. So, yes, it's great to know that, still a lot of people need to take advantage of DACL and IONA and a lot of these organizations here in DC. So, thank you so much. Miss Lisa put something in the chat about who to call for info regarding club memory. Is that correct, Samantha?
Yes, I'm very familiar with Sharon's name. For some reason on the website, they specifically list someone else. I don't know. Lisa might know more. It sounds like Lisa's aware that Sharon's still active, but the other person, I can put the other person in the chat too. They just leave an email address on the website.
Yes, club memory. It sounds like it's very popular.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think it's been going on a long time too, and it's very active.
I love that slide for the medical equipment loan closet. I mean, again, you could share this info with yourselves, but also again your community members and your friends and family. I think it's a great resource. Um, especially the wheelchairs. I mean, there's not a lot of places you could get a free wheelchair if you need one. And it sounds like the turnaround is like a day or two. Is that correct?
Yeah, so usually people call, and then we have like one staff person who goes down at 3 o'clock, because it's like I guess it's bigger than a closet, but like essentially a closet in our garage. So someone goes downstairs, sees what requests we have, and sees what we have to meet those requests. And then the front desk will call back and let you know what we have, and that it's available for pickup.
Mhm. Thank you so much, Samantha. Do you maybe as like of a last, overarching thing for today, maybe could you go on the website and just maybe highlight a few things for us?
Sure, Iona's website.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'll pull up our Around Town DC website too, because that might be of interest to people.
Oh yeah, I love the calendar. It's so
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be changing soon, but can show you what it is now. Oops.
Before you go over the website, we do have a question.
Okay.
So much. Yes, we have Miss Marie. Thank you so much. You have a question about anything we've covered today or a comment? Make sure you tap on unmute in the middle, okay?
Hello. I'd like to know for the loan closet, the diapers, wipes, and gloves, do you have to pick them up, or would they deliver them to somebody who's homebound?
Yeah, so everything would have to be picked up, and where they're stored, and I see someone is asking about the wheelchairs too. Everything, including the wheelchairs and Constance products, needs to be picked up. But like I mentioned, our main office is in Tenleytown. That's where they typically are. But if someone is in Southeast and it's hard to get to Northwest, we could try and bring it to our Southeast location too. So you could let the front desk know when you call if that location would be better or worse.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you for the question.
Yeah, the Congress Heights location's at 3303 Stanton Road.
That's
So,
right.
I hope that helps out, Miss Marie. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, another hand. We got Miss Louise again. Thank you.
Yeah, I found the number that I talked to Sharon on this number before. It's 202-660-6957.
Yeah,
Thank you. And
that
I
was
think
the same one in the chat.
yep.
Yeah, I'll try. I'm shaky, but I'll try.
No, no, no. It's Miss Lisa already shared it, Miss Louise.
Hmm?
Miss Lisa already shared that number in the chat with us.
Oh, yeah, that's the number I got her on.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and I just reposted in the chat for everyone as
Yeah,
well.
I see it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's a thank you, Louise. Did we answer your question, Louise?
Yes,
Okay, thank you so much.
thank you, guys.
Mm-hmm. There's two more questions in the chat, Samantha. I love it.
Yeah, I see someone's wondering if we have scooters. We have knee scooters. I don't know if there's a different type of scooter you're thinking about. We do have the knee scooters. Um, and is that someone saying they don't have a way to pick up the wheelchair, but live in Northeast?
Someone else do it, like the caregiver or a family member. Can they pick it up for the?
Yeah, so someone else, like a friend, anyone can pick it up.
Mhm.
So even if there's like an aide or a friend or a neighbor who's willing to do it, anyone can pick it up. But yeah, we just can't deliver, unfortunately. But yeah, we also have dining sites in, like I said, wards 2, 3, and 4. So we might be able to bring it to those, but we don't deliver to people's houses.
Oh yes. Thank you for asking that, Miss Sandra. Yes, I think it would just be calling the helpline and for any situation you guys are willing to help and hear out and just try to see where you guys can meet in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
I love
Yeah.
that. So thank you for answering those questions, Samantha.
Yeah, no problem. And I
Mhm.
can give a quick overview of our website too.
It's great again, 50 years, so I can't wait to go over it.
Mm-hmm. And we actually have a relatively new website. I think it was last year we got this new website. So there's a few different things you can see. Community programs. If you hover your mouse over it, you can see everything we offer. This is our dining site in Ward 3. System information. I believe it's about the artwork we have up at Iona. Dementia Navigators. You can see information about specific programs. I didn't talk about Aging Solo yet, but that program is a good curriculum around things that might be helpful for people to consider as they're getting older, like putting in advanced directives or decision makers if you needed them, um, making a plan for if you want to stay at home or move, how you would go about doing that, building social networks. And it's 6 videos. Um, and the materials also come with a facilitator guide and a handbook. This is another one of our dining sites in Ward 2, our helpline. This is a dining site for people who are unhoused. Around town DC, I'll show you. This is about our dining sites generally and our loan closet. So if you forget what we have in our loan closet, you can go on our website and it gives you an overview. And then if you hover your mouse over the advanced wellness and elder care services, you can see more information about our day programs, our elder care consultant services for employers. So this might not relate as much to people on the call, but for example, you all may have heard of the company Fannie Mae. We have a social worker who's available to employees through Fannie Mae. And that's just like a contract we have set up with them. Aging and caregiving support is the private pay care management program. You could click here and learn more about our support groups, or click here and learn more about mental health. And let's see. The other thing that you can do on our website is you can click if you're an older adult or a caregiver, and it will route you to more information. So since we're talking about caregivers today, I'll click here and it kind of puts all the information together that a caregiver might be interested in. So a lot of the things that we were talking about, the adult day program, aging caregiving support, dementia navigators, and money management, which falls within dementia navigators. And then caring for yourself as a caregiver. So again, how aging caregiving support can help, doing social and fitness programs through programs like Around Town DC, calling the helpline for resources, mental health therapy and support groups. It's a little bit more about the mental health. So just different ways to get similar information. Managing life, these different support options. And we do also have a newsletter. So if you wanted to sign up for this, you could get information. So the Around Town DC weekly newsletter is all about Around Town DC, which I'll show you that website, which as you can see is under construction. We have a new one coming, I think, next month. So this is kind of temporary, but I think it actually lays it out pretty nice. And this is the program I mentioned that has the social fitness wellness programs, both in person and virtual. And this is the calendar for June. So you can see the reoccurring programs. So Pilates at Georgetown Library, Zumba Gold at Tenleytown Library, Fine Arts at Cleveland Park, chair yoga. Then you can see virtual chair yoga. So anywhere you're coming from. Virtual Monday workshop. And there's some special events down here. So like June 2nd, there's a specific event around digital literacy, movie nights, gratitude circles. We also have something around the EPD waiver coming up. So you can always look at this website. And then I believe up here they say, let's see. If you're new and would like to join our programs, please create an account by clicking create an account button in the top right corner. I'm not sure. I would probably just email community at, yeah, I would just email community at iona.org.
Yeah.
So the virtual.
It may be that black box to the right-hand side of that. It might be that.
Oh, here it is. It was hidden.
Mhm.
There's create an account.
It's okay. You know, that's your website. It's gonna look amazing.
Yeah, so we have a new one coming next month. So it's temporary, but all the programs will be the same. It'll just be a different format. Yeah, any questions about any of that?
Yeah, any questions about anything covered today? Again, Samantha talked about IONA, general programs, family caregiver resources, and she went over the IONA and Around Town's website. So, wow, amazing stuff, amazing information. And it's a way to, again, engage yourself and also share with others. So, any questions or comments for Samantha today? Any other questions or comments? I think we got a ton today, and I really appreciate it. I hope you guys take advantage, especially that loan closet and all the different caregiver resources. And I mean, anyone can be a caregiver to you. Again, friend, family member, and again, make sure you utilize the resources in DC so they stay, operating as long as possible to help you out. Any other questions or comments? All right. Well, if you learned something new today, or you are going to share something that you learned today with a friend or a family member, please raise your hand in Zoom to show your support for Samantha, who did an amazing job today. I do see we have one hand. I think that is a question, but I'll come to you, Mr. Leon, if you have that question. But if you learned something new, if you're going to share this information that you learned today or the video when it's posted to others so they can learn more. I'd love it. We got 4 hands already. Again, if you found today fun, useful, informational, if you're going to share this info with your friends and family and community members or take advantage of the resources, please raise your hand in Zoom. I love it. Thank you. Amazing. 7 hands. Thank you all so much. Mr. Leon, you had a quick question or comment before we end for today? Is
Yeah,
that
just
right?
It
Okay.
was community account at IONA.
Oh, yeah, the place to email for Around Town DC.
Yes.
It's community@iona.org. I can put it in the chat.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Thank you so much, Mr. Leon. Yeah,
Yeah, and that's if you have any questions about like our social and wellness programs, they're the go-to people for that. And again, you could always call our helpline for anything, but that just might be a little bit more direct if you know you want information about Around Town DC.
Thank you so much. And thank you. We got about 10 hands. I love it. Thank you for the engagement. Samantha, any final thoughts or last comments for our group today? Again, what do you think of our session? And what do you want to leave with us for today?
Yeah, just thank you again for having me. And I know we covered a lot of information. Every situation is unique. So feel free to utilize our helpline. That's the best way to get connected or ask some initial questions, whether we're connecting you to IONA or other resources. We're happy to talk to you.
Thank you so much, Samantha. Make sure you all stay on for our poll at the end. But let's all say thank you so much. And we look forward to the next IONA session next month. So we hope you enjoy your Juneteenth, Samantha.
Thank you. I hope you all do as well.
And let's all say thank you so much, Samantha. Have a
Thank
wonderful
you so
rest
much,
of your
Thank
day.
you,
Samantha. Have a nice
Samantha.
day.
Thank
So
you,
much,
Samantha.
Samantha.
Amazing job.
The information.
You want
Great
a question for
information.
Samantha?
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye
Thank
bye.
you.
Bye bye.
Thank
See you
you.
all.
Bye bye.
Great job, Samantha.
Hello, Alex.
Thank
I have a
you.
quick
Thank
question.
you. Thank you so much.